Hello, my name's Katie and welcome to my shed. This is the first week where I'm going down to doing one video a week. So if you saw Tuesday's video, I talked about why I'm reducing the number of videos I do a week, and today we're going to explore that a little bit further. So it's actually now Tuesday, so the day that the last video came out, and I'm going to just talk a little bit about what I've been doing over the weekend. The sun is shining. It's been beautiful today, actually, really nice, beautiful weather. And I'm going to go out this evening and do some painting, so that's exciting. So I'll take you along with me. I'm a little bit nervous because, for those of you that don't know, I paint in my shed. That's the name of the title of this channel. I don't go out very often to do painting because I hate the idea of people stumbling across me and looking at what I'm doing, and I don't like talking to people very much, so that's why I don't do it very often. But I'm going to this evening, and I'm going to find a nice quiet lay-by somewhere where I can sit on my chair and paint some skies. So I don't know if you're new here, I apologise, because I'm going to talk about something from the last video. So this might be new to you. In the last video I talked about the fact that I set up the channel in order to grow my art business. However, what it's turned into is me just doing videos. And I do like doing the videos, and the purpose of the channel is to the purpose of the channel is to document my art journey, not to be the journey, to be the only outcome. So I've taken today to do quite a lot of thinking and reflecting, and I don't know why it didn't come to me before, but at work, in my proper job, I have spent a lot of time talking to people about the fact that you can't deliver a good service unless you have a shared vision or a shared purpose. And for some reason, when I was doing this channel and setting up my art business, rather than starting at the very beginning and coming up with my vision and my purpose, I just started and I've just kind of like spent the last 5 months cracking on, which is great. It's good to doing, but you do need to know where you're going. And there's a famous quote, and I'm gonna have to think about it. Give me a second. Yes, the quote is something along the lines of, if you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to get there. There's a proper way of doing it. Let me stop Google and come back to you. That didn't kind of go the way I thought it was going to go. I could just keep finding a quote from Lewis Carroll which kind of implies that it's okay not to know where you're going. But there is definitely a quote about having a vision and then knowing how to get where you want to go. Anyway, I'm not a philosopher, am I? Anyway, today I have spent quite a lot of time coming up with and writing my purpose of the channel. So yes, the plan is for me to write it up and then maybe do some drawings around it, and then I'm going to have it up in this shed just as a reminder of what I'm trying to do. I'll read it out to you. Bear in mind, as you know, I'm not a philosopher or even a master inspirational speech giver. So the purpose of the channel is to document my creative journey of turning my hobby into a business. I'll share everything from painting my birds to experimenting with abstract landscapes and all the things that I learn along the way. This channel has become a way for me to process life through art in my personal creative space, and I want to use it to inspire others to follow their own creative paths. Is that too flowery, or is that okay? Let me know what you think. Now I've read it out loud, I feel like it might be a little bit flowery. And I've also done some work on my business plan. So yeah, I won't bore you with my whole business plan of what I want to do, but I think the key things I need to do is revisit my Etsy shop, and then with that think about what I'm going to sell on there. I already know I don't really want to be using it for selling original artworks, so I've got to identify somebody who can professionally scan in my images, because my scanner at home isn't, I don't think it's a good enough quality to be able to do it, but my printer is a good enough quality. So once I've worked out a strategy of getting them scanned in so that I can print them out, that will be better. And I'll also, the other thing that I've been really struggling with is photographing original artwork, because it's really hard to get a good quality image once they're framed and you get reflections, whereas if I can get them scanned in, I'll have a good quality digital image that I can use for my shop. So I feel like that sounds like a silly reason to be doing it, but also it means I can keep the cost down, and I think that it will be more popular to not sell the original artwork. That being said, the other stream I'm going to look at is finding some either local galleries or ways that I can sell the original artwork that way. Also have another look at some art fairs that I can access. So I did one last year which was really successful, but for some reason this year I thought I won't do it. I think because I didn't think I'd have enough new products to bring along to it, which is silly, really silly. So I need to investigate that and probably do that sooner rather than later. The other side of the business and art journey that I'm taking is about the art workshops, and actually that part is probably the bit that's going the best. So we've set out the timetable for the rest of the year. We're only doing one workshop a month this year, just so that we can find our feet, and then we're going to be looking at spreading out there and out geographically. So we'll be running some here and then some more in Norfolk, so that we can capture a different client base. But we've already, having run the 2 workshops, and we're getting repeat bookings, so I feel like that side of the business is going well. We could definitely expand it, but we've deliberately chosen to take it slow this year, mainly because we're both really busy and we don't really want to be teaching every weekend on top of working full time and everything else that we're doing. But I do feel like there's a lot to explore there, which is exciting. It's really exciting, and we're both doing additional courses as well. I probably should have talked about that last week when I was yabbering on about not having any time. So I'm doing a few different courses looking at sort of therapeutic art techniques and what we can do to bring that into the workshops. So not the end goal, because I think we both want to do these workshops as well. Comes the door. But to expand it out to do sort of corporate, not away days, but like well-being sessions. So I've attended my fair share of well-being sessions that have been run by my organisation, and they're always good fun, and you do come away feeling really refreshed. But there's definitely nothing that I couldn't teach myself. And I do a lot of coaching at work, so it feels like a really natural progression to sort of being out doing coaching and art and creative well-being. It feels like a really natural progression to the business, and I think that's probably where the most growth would be. We might be wrong, but I think that is definitely an avenue that we can take and will suit us both really well. The other thing that I've been doing today is looking at branding and marketing. Haven't done that much on the marketing. I've done a lot of reading and a bit of research, looking at brand identity and that sort of thing. Can't think of the proper word. And I've come up with a little logo, just need to work out how to format that into the right size so that I can do it like as a YouTube banner for my Instagram picture, that sort of thing. And that, yeah, I think that's probably about all there is. Oh, and I've also been doing a bit of reading and research about SEOs, because I'd heard it talked about and didn't have a clue what it was or how it impacted on me. But I'm hoping that if I can put into practice all the stuff I'm reading, this channel will hopefully grow a bit quicker and reach a few more people, and by default then I'll get a bit more creative energy back to me because there'll be more people engaging with me. Does that make sense? Today wasn't meant to be another waffly one. That, I think, is all I'm going to talk about. So what I'm going to do now is get prepped for going out and doing a bit of plein air painting, and then you'll see me out in a field somewhere, hopefully. I'm not sure if anybody's that interested, but I'll show you what I'm taking out with me to paint, because I did talk about it a while back but I haven't done it for a while. So I've just rejiggled things a little bit, and I am going to take out with me 4 brushes. I've said it before, I will say it again, I've got cheap brushes because I don't look after them very well, and particularly if I'm going out painting plein air, I'll probably lose them or something. But I've got this little flat one, it's a 1/2 inch little flat one. Then I've got what's this, 3/8, I think it's an 8, a 2, and that one's a 9, so I don't know. Anyway, I've got 3 brushes, those sizes, and the flat one. I've got some little watercolours I've popped in this palette. They are a mixture, they're ones I've had a long time, a mixture of Winsor Newtons, and they're not the best quality ones, the ones I've had from the A-level art. So I've got these Daler Rowney Introduction to Watercolour ones, and Winsor Newton, just some cottons. So not the best quality ones, but they will serve a purpose. I'm taking some inks, which I don't normally do, but I've got a couple of things. I've got a black and this one's like a red earth kind of colour. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm taking out a craft book with me. It's like a journal, what's the word, scrapbook, but quite thick craft pages, and it's a nice big size, and I thought I might be able to do some really nice drawings with this, with a stick or something, found object. So I've got that. I've got a white gouache, some pastels, and my trusty WHSmith Watercolour pencils. If you haven't watched it before, I did test out about 12 different types of watercolour pencils, and there were some lovely ones, but actually I quite like the WHSmith ones, so I'll just stick with those for now, because I don't need to feel precious about them, because I've had them probably 20 years or more, so I might as well use them. And for the purpose of a sketchbook, they are more than good enough. What else have I got? I have got my favourite kebab skewer and a pen, black. It's not a fine liner, it's quite a thick one. It's a B size, B for bold, I'm going to say, which I can use for some drawing. And I'm going to take a little water mist out with me as well. And what else? I have got a 2B pencil, and I've got one of the little watercolour brushes, so I would take that with me as well. And that is it. As well as this sketchbook, I'm going to take this one out as well, which is a lovely one, lovely shape one. So it's Nature Sketch. It's 25% cotton, 212 GSM or 130 pounds, 50 sheets, and I just think it's going to be quite nice for doing landscapes. I've not used it before, but that's what we're taking. Right, see you in a minute. So I found this lovely view, but I can't work out where to sit because I'm surrounded by brambles and nettles. So I need to, I think, go find somewhere else where I can actually sit. But yeah, it's very lovely. I'm not doing very well. I've just found, so it's really noisy, this lovely spot here. And I want to get over to that field over there, or that one over there. But can you see how overgrown it is? So yeah, it's a public footpath, but I can't get down there. So I'll have a look at it from here. And then I'm going to have to keep going. This is turning out to not be very successful. I love that sound. So I pulled over. I just want to say, how rubbish is it that I am worrying about a van that's parked across the road? Like, I know I don't want to get political here, but I bet if I was a bloke I wouldn't be worrying about that, would I? Anyway, I'm going to do some drawing and hopefully not get murdered or pillaged. Okay, so this is going to be my first one. I'm just going to do like a long study of this. I don't know if you can quite see, but there's quite a lot of different, I like the round trees in the background there. I'll use watercolour, I think. So I'm going to wet my page, and then so that's my first one done. Oh, there we go. The sun's going down a bit. I am sat on the road, so I feel really. I think you'll all be pleased to know I didn't get murdered. It was probably just a pigeon or a rabbit. Such a wuss. Anyway, I've just moved across the road to where the van was sat. They weren't murderers either, they were dog walkers. You'd be surprised to know. And I'm going to sit here for like 45 minutes or something and get a drawing of this. How lush is this? And I've just seen the yellow hammer, so that's made me happy. Well, I've done something, which is, you know, an hour ago more than I thought I was going to do because it wasn't going well. Can you see the lovely sunset behind me? Cool. I'm still worried someone's going to come walk the dog and catch me videoing myself. Tesco's. Let me show you what I've done. I think fate has just told me that I'm not meant to come out and paint outside because I've just broken my little tripod. Anyway, this is what I've done. Obviously it's very sketchy. I'll show you what it is. It's that over there. So, I'm not sure whether it's given a flavour of the day or not. I think I've been eaten alive, so I should probably put a few bugs on there. I just realised I didn't show you the first one I did. Bit of a mess. I actually think I prefer it to the one I've just done. So I think I'm going to sign off from here actually, because the birds sound so nice. Yeah. Anyway, I think we can conclude that plein air in layby is not for me. But I've given it another go. I think I'm better off if I go to a gardens or something like that, where I probably feel a little, well, there's more people around. I'm not fearing for my life and I'm not being eaten alive by bugs. So yeah, quite bitey this evening. But it is very pretty, and I have been able to listen to the bird songs for a few minutes, so that's been lovely. So let me know, do you do plein air painting? If you do, tell me your tricks for not getting murdered and not feeling like a wally. That would be really helpful. And I will leave it here. Have a lovely week and I will see you soon. Bye.